On Pharaoh's channel the other day. I forgot to put it on FDP. Actually, I don't think you have the FDP. Yeah, you don't even have the FDP channel on your channel.
I'll have to put it on there. Alright, let me go check real quick, see how the audio is.
Got the notification. We in there. Only, what, 3.5 hours later?
Hey man, it's the life of a father, man. Alright, so we are actually up. Let me hear the volume.
Got a notification. We in there. Only, what, 3.5 hours later?
Oh. Alright, so okay, I heard myself. Alright, cool. Alright, what is up, everybody? This is Final Dash Podcast, and this is episode 8. Let me go ahead and get out of this game right quick.
What game was you playing?
Monster Hunter.
Monster Hunter?
Yeah, I gotta pop the disc in.
You playing on PS4?
PS4. What else I'd be playing it on?
You know we got a Switch version, right?
Yeah.
Just saying, man. Just saying.
Yeah. Just completed one of the hardest games known to man. God of War. Give me God of War mode. Don't do it to yourself, people. Just stay away from that mode. Give me God of War. It's
getting your ass beat on that.
It's not even that. It's like no matter how much you. Well, I finally got the dwarven armor. Then I started going to Niflheim and basically farming armor. Literally, I'm farming armor like this is Monster Hunter and shit like that. But I've been playing that. I'm gonna go through it. I'm gonna beat Spider-Man. I just uploaded the ending of this game in HDR because I have a way of, obviously you can record games in HDR, but I have a way of recording games in max quality HDR, like bumping up the colors and everything to give like a wow factor to like devices and stuff. So I just uploaded the ended, obviously spoiler, literally it says the ending in HDR. So if you go there and you get mad, it's your own fault.
Yeah, you done clicked on it.
Yeah. But other than that, man, like episode 28, we're gonna be talking about a few things. Episode 8. We're gonna be talking about a few things. A few things that's gonna be pretty good, controversial, and PlayStation and other jazz. So,
all right, before we jump into it, man, you gotta talk about the games you play. I don't get to talk about the games I play. Come on, man.
Oh, we were just basically starting up the podcast. I was literally gonna say, this is Takun. And what have you been playing, sir?
Let's see. I've been going through Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition. Been going at a pretty slow pace, just because I decided to not do every single side quest, but I'm doing damn near every single side quest. So that's been taking up time. And then yesterday and today, I've been going through Fire Emblem Sacred Stones for some reason. I got hooked on couple Fire Emblem YouTube channels. I'm like, damn, they make me want to go back and play some of these games. And I didn't really I didn't think too highly of it when I first played it. I'm giving it a second shot. See how it is. Revisit it a couple years later. So that's what I've been doing. And then we know the Pokemon DLC is coming up here in a couple days, and I'm a whore for Pokemon. So
how much hours
do you going in on that? There's gonna be a review on this channel for Pokemon DLC.
How many hours do you have in that?
In Pokemon?
Uh-huh.
Let me see here. I know it's over 200. I just don't know specifically. Not a lot by comparison to when I play other Pokemon games. Normally it's between 400 and 500 hours, but this, I'm at 265.
You know, that's at least 3 RPGs.
Yep. I know.
I don't know how y'all do it, man.
Hey, it takes a lot of time. You got to catch the right Pokemon and the right Pokeball, and you got to breed it, and then you got the egg moves, and then you got to like train the Pokemon. Then you got to level it up, make sure. There's a lot that goes into creating an optimal Pokemon, and then crafting your team, then you find
Something
out,
is going
this
on
team
in the
don't work
other
the way I
dragon's
want it
part.
to, and then you got to craft new
Let's
it.
head out on an expedition
Takes a hot minute,
optional
man.
quest to check it out.
I guess. But for me, hold on. Pharaohs. I still need to go back and finish. Is that Pharaohs? Our Pharaohs?
That is our Pharaohs, man.
Yo, get in the damn Discord.
Yeah,
Anyways,
join us.
yeah.
And
We were
Pokemon
supposed to go up
Sword
at.
slash Shield is short.
We were supposed to do this
Yeah.
at 4:30, but shit didn't work out the way we wanted it to.
Life's the
And I've
bitch,
been
man.
and I've been busy. Just beat God of War. Give me God of War mode. And I
Oh, you
am,
beat it.
Yeah, I'm officially disbanding my Dark Cloud 1983 YouTube channel, and
What?
I started a new channel called DC's Nerd Talk, and I already
Oh,
put.
hold up. This is news to me.
Oh yeah, this is just. I'm gonna be reviewing like TVs, hardware, receivers, computers, PC tech talk, and all that other stuff. Um, yeah, so it's more of like a nerd type thing. Give my opinions on like gaming stuff, but this will be Final Dash podcast will be you reviews. It'll be our podcast, obviously. Hopefully, it gets much bigger. Hopefully, we get more people on here and stuff like that. But I put the channel up on my Twitter account. Again, it's called Dark Cloud. I'm sorry, DC's Nerd Talk. It was gonna be DC Gaming, but I didn't want to get it confused because people may think it is like DC Comics made a gaming channel or something like that.
Or District of Columbia. Whatever.
Yeah, or District of Columbia or something like that. So it's DC's Nerd Talk, and yeah, that's I'm gonna be uploading some of my old videos there, and I'll be basically creating an intro video on there.
So I gotta ask, why did you make a new YouTube channel?
Because I have a lot of dead subs, and I tried to go to create partnership. I started looking at my analytics, and none of the people, barely, I'd say maybe 2% of the people that subscribe to me are continuous watchers, versus they're outsiders. And then on top of that too, so was Nerd Talk taken? No, Nerd Talk is just DC's Nerd Talk. And what's it called? But yeah, that's kind of like, and then on top of that too, like I went to apply for AdSense, and I don't know if Machinima fucked me over or something like that, but I can't get AdSense on my channel.
Oh, yeah, that's right. You were partnered with them like way back in the day.
Yeah.
But they're disbanded now.
Yeah,
So.
they're disbanded, and then when I went to look and I tried to apply for it, because I also applied for us through Freedom. Freedom's gonna sponsor our channel once we hit 1,000. I already put in the application and we already got approved. We're just waiting on AdSense to hit 1,000.
Okay.
So yeah, that's also news here. So we're gonna be partnered and
Okay. All those 1,000 sub goals, man, they gonna happen. They gonna
yeah.
happen.
Yeah, so we'll be able to do like super chats and stuff like that, and yeah. So once we hit 1,000, and I emailed, I think that was the guy. He's too busy, or maybe it was somebody else that replied back to me from Freedom. They do like channel support, like they try to help you guys out, and they try to help you out, help your channel grow and stuff like that. I just want to do things right and be on point and make scheduled dates. Being that I'm going to have this secondary new role with Sony, which is incorporating social media, I'll have time to sit down and make a 10-minute video, edit it, and then preload it, then upload it, and like look for gaming news and look for tech news, and if I'm getting hardware from Sony, and if I'm gonna reach out to Best Buy, RC Willie's, and other companies, I'll be able to do nerd talk over there, whether it be SSD, whether it be hard drive, stuff like that. But this channel will specifically be directed to 100% gaming, whether it's PlayStation, whether it be Nintendo, whether it be the hate of Xbox until they completely vanish from the world of gaming.
Damn, son.
I was kind of hoping that
still going in
Sega
on
was gonna.
Xbox?
I was hoping that Sega was gonna make a comeback and like completely like
Hey, the
destroy
way they were hyping up that
the
announcement,
way they
can
were
you
hyping
blame
it.
us for thinking that?
I
Can you blame
I
us?
know, I know, and if they did, like you got to ask yourself, what studios did they have? Yeah. But hopefully Microsoft could turn things around. Uh, Yo, shut up, Super Savage.
He's talking
uh,
about that Twitter post.
yeah.
I
Um,
saw that.
but yeah, I'm super excited to see where this goes. Like, yeah, it'll be starting over, and I'll be posting a video. I'll basically be posting a video of my intro video to DC's Nerd Talk on Dark Cloud 1983 to basically let people know that it's going to be my new channel going forward. I'm going to upload all my content. Yeah, I'll be losing my views. Yeah, I'll be losing all my stuff. But if I'm going to grow when YouTube's going to be a complete dick about that channel, like I'm serious about like trying to make a comeback and be consistent with this channel and that channel. But if I'm not gonna gain anything of my worth, then screw that. You know what I'm saying?
No,
But
no,
that,
I totally get that. That's similar reasons why I started the Talking Hiwatari channel and dropped the Pyro Talking channel.
yeah, and even though if you look at that number, you see 9,000. I gained 200 subs like since like I came back, or probably 300. So I gained a few hundred subs. It's You look at that number and I feel like it's only like 1,000 people that are like truly like continuously watching us, or watching me, or paying attention, shit like that. So whatever.
Pharaohs is asking, why would you want Microsoft to not make consoles? He said
Competition is
competition's good, man,
Yeah,
even if
And
the competition ain't all that.
Nintendo's competing. As a matter of fact, Microsoft, according to them, or according to some guy, because I was on what's it called, King Thrash's podcast this Saturday that just passed yesterday, and according to some of the hardcore Xbox fans, that they're not considering PlayStation competition. Right now, Microsoft's trying to reach 2 billion gamers, and they don't really care about the hardcore. They're trying to make cloud gaming their thing. So Sony's not their competition. Sony's traditional gaming, traditional console, and Microsoft is for everybody. Whether it be the most powerful console
Oh,
ever, whether it be this is a topic that you forgot to add in there, or whether it be using your cell phone and playing God of War while on the toilet instead of buying a Switch or dedicated hardware for that, streaming. Because we all have that amazing internet speed. We all have it.
interesting. Okay, like I didn't put this topic in here. I didn't know it was a topic we'd go over, but the way I don't know, it's weird because Nintendo, has the same mentality where they don't see Sony and Microsoft in particular as competition. Now, of course, in certain ways they are. They all make video games and hardware and all this stuff. But when you look at kind of Nintendo's mentality and how they approach it, they're really not in competition with Sony and Microsoft just because of the way they handle their business. They march to the beat of their own drum. They have the Switch, which is just completely different from
Mm-hmm.
a PS4 and Xbox One in terms of, we all know you can just dock the Switch, you can take it on the go. There's no other console of the big three that's doing that. There's no one else doing what Nintendo does, for better and for worse. But when Nintendo says that, they have that mentality, like they embrace it. And when Microsoft says it, it's got me wondering, are they saying it just to say it, or are they actually going to embrace that and truly, try to shape gaming by going their own route? And in a way, like they're trying to do something completely different that's not proven, unlike Nintendo's route, where it's like, look, handhelds have always been a Nintendo thing. It's proven to make money, and they're like, let's just lean into our strengths right here. I feel like Microsoft is kind of flailing around the water. They don't have anything where they can be like, look, let's lean into our strengths here, because even though they've been around for a minute now, they're still figuring it out.
Yeah, and then there was that question. There was that question, and you got to ask yourself, like, how many passes are we gonna give them? Like, how many times are we gonna hear, wait till this event, wait till that event. We have these studios, we have this. It's the most powerful console ever. Who cares about the SSD? It's Xbox this, it's Xbox that. I don't know, man. Like they've been in the gaming business for over 20 years. You know,
Whoa, whoa. Well, hold up. I think it is about 20. Maybe it's 19 or 20 years.
yeah, they've been in the gaming business
Wow.
for 20 years. Like how?
We old, man.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, yeah. I still remember the original Xbox. The I won't even call it the VCR because back then consoles were just big. You didn't give a shit, and even now you don't care. You know, you just look at
Bro,
a
I remember
console.
that original Xbox controller big in my head, bro. Like,
Yep.
that thing was a monster. I mean, I guess since we're on the topic of Microsoft, there are some things that they started. Like consoles didn't have hard drives for Microsoft. They're the ones, even though technically some other consoles had gone online previously, Microsoft was like, look, online is a thing, like
Hmm.
a mainstream thing. Or they made it that way. So even though they're, like I said, the newest of the big three on the block here, they did bring some things to the table. Like not as much, I would say, as Sony and Nintendo, but there are some things that are just like standard now that Microsoft kind of paved the way for.
They also paved the way for us paying for online.
Yeah, yeah, that shit too. I'm not saying everything they did was great, man. I'm just saying
They
they
give some
did some
positive things.
things.
They give positive things because PlayStation Now is at a really good price now. It's
Uh,
$9 for all of those games, even though it's more games than Game Pass. Game Pass is more current games, while Sony is basically old school games, and some trickled in new school games, but games that you have to wait for. The same way they're treating PC gamers. Like I think God of War and
mhm.
Spider Man is only on there for 6 months, and then that's it. You finished? All right, give me
Yeah,
a minute.
Game Pass is definitely an interesting thing. They mix in, I won't say like every new release, but a lot of like the big new releases are on there, or not a lot of them, but like enough of them. It's surprising how many newer games you'll see mixed up in Game Pass with like some of the older stuff. And I'd say the overall package,
Baby, can
like
you
the
get daddy
quality of
switch?
games in Game Pass, is pretty damn good.
Yeah, there's a lot of good games. I have Game Pass. Let me see what is on Game Pass right now. Let me launch up my Game Pass. Like one thing, they're even catering to PC gamers because apparently Gears Tactics is only on PC as of right now. It's as of right now. It's
I'm
in my
telling you,
regular.
man,
Okay.
that's the road they need to take. They need to just go all in on this Game
I
Pass.
will
It's it's
say,
a great thing.
hold on,
Just
hold on. You remember we how much I begged for Fantasy Star Online 2? They are the reasons why it's here. And it's obviously the game was going to be free. It was free out there, but they're the reasons why it's here. So, for instance, No Man's Sky is in Game Pass. You know, you have Gothica in Game Pass. You've got BattleTech in Game Pass. Minecraft Dungeons, Alan Wake. You've got a lot. You've got the
mhm.
Halo edition. You've got all of the Kingdom Hearts. You've got Endless Legends. You got Final Fantasy
Streets of Rage 4
15.
is still on there, right?
Yeah, Streets of Rage 4 is on there. Gears Tactics, Moving Out, which is I think is a fun game. I think it's a Switch game. They've got Yakuza on there, you know, and Yakuza was always a PlayStation thing. So the fact that they have that there, they're doing some really good things.
I feel
Uh,
like they specifically chose stuff like Yakuza and what you say, Kingdom Hearts,
mm-hmm.
specifically for trying to reel in some PlayStation people. It's like, yeah, you can pay full price on PlayStation, but you can pay how much is Game Pass right now? $45 for 3 months.
Yeah, or yeah,
Yeah,
$15 a
you can
month
pay
if you got it for
you can
PC, or
pay
I think it's $9.
$15 a month and just play all that on your Xbox or PC,
Mm-hmm.
plus a bunch of other stuff. Like I said, not every game in Game Pass is a home run, but like the overall package is like it's a steal.
Facts. And you know, so then there's that thing that Phil Spencer said, where he basically responded. There was an interview where he sat down and he says that if someone can't get an Xbox this year, that's okay. And like it's okay. Their focus is everyone can get one at any point in time, and their focus is not around the box. Their focus is not around the box, which is kind of what we spoke about a little bit. It's around everything, whether it goes to PlayStation, which I don't. If Sony is smart, do not allow Game Pass on PlayStation. That's going to take away sales from them.
But I think if Nintendo allowed it on Switch, then it would be a really good thing.
But it would only be if Microsoft found a way to put it on Switch, it would be streaming. You would be streaming those games. You wouldn't be able to download them physically. There would literally be some games where you could download, but everything else would be streaming.
Why am I not on camera? Because cloud's hosting. That's why.
Hey.
Anyways, yeah.
Wait, do you
I
have your
don't know.
camera up?
I feel like if Microsoft really wanted to, they can make a Game Pass that was like tailored for the Switch specifically, and it could be something like the smaller titles on Game Pass could be like Streets of Rage. They could probably make a specific Game Pass for Switch. And they already have a couple games up on there, well, on the Switch already. They got like the Super Lucky Tail. They got Ori and the Blind Forest. What's the other one? Cuphead. So, I mean, I feel like Microsoft is.
You want to know how
I don't
Microsoft
know.
is doing good work? Because I don't have PlayStation now, but I do have Game Pass.
Yeah, I had it for a bit too, and it was pretty nice. But going back to the hardware thing, what we're seeing is like a complete 180 from what they had with the launch of the Xbox One. I know you guys remember that when they said, well, it came out, it was $500. It came with the Connect. It was, always online. This is before it launched. It was just during the reveal. And someone in the press asked him, was like, okay, what about people that can't afford to upgrade? Or no, it was what about people that don't have internet access? What are they going to do? And then fucking, who was the guy? It wasn't Phil Spencer at the time. Whoever was in charge of the Xbox's vision was like, yeah, we got a product for those people.
Don
It's called
Matrick.
Xbox 360.
Yeah, Don Matrick.
Oh man, that was rude. Good times, good times. But yeah, no, complete 180 from those days. And I feel like in the long term, it's not going to pan out too well because I mean, you think about it, you have all these different versions of Xbox One, and then we're going to have the Xbox Series X coming up here soon. And Microsoft saying like, hey, your games need to work on everything, on all of our systems. And then you're going to get people trying to make, next gen PS5 level games on like an original Xbox One. It ain't going to be that great. And unlike the Switch, where you're taking compromises for portability, you're just going to be compromising just to compromise.
Facts.
And if I remember correctly, this was a very big, the central issue behind why, what's it called? What was that game that got canceled? Platinum Games was working with Microsoft on Scalebound.
Yeah,
Scalebound
Scalebound.
got scrapped because the original Xbox One couldn't handle it. They said, okay, let's make it, gosh, what's that stupid Xbox name? Whatever, the beefy Xbox. It's like, let's make it exclusive to that. And they're like, no, it needs to run on every Xbox.
That is true.
You might run into more problems like that. And I think it's going to do a lot of harm to them in the long run.
Yeah, I see that. Hey, get on camera right quick. I'm gonna try to do something.
Can I even do that?
Yeah, just I called you on
Oh,
Discord.
boy.
All right.
Oh,
All
snap. I didn't know you could do that in here.
Let me window capture right quick.
I mean, I knew you could video call. I didn't know you could video call in different Discord channels. I shouldn't be allowed to moderate on our own Discord, to be honest. I don't know nothing about nothing.
Liar.
I'm serious, guys. I'm an idiot when it comes to everything cloud. Cloud's the brains behind this whole operation.
Lies.
Hey, you already got us a sponsorship, man. That was
Yeah, I was looking into it because I didn't want the channel to feel like
Dang,
like
man.
we weren't doing the damn thing. Window capture.
Kind of wasn't
Images.
though. Oh dang! You got a notification on your DC 1983 channel. Your God of War gameplay.
Yeah, it should be coming up.
God Eater 3. What the fuck? You playing God Eater 3 right now?
No. Hold on. Is it Discord? Yeah, there it is.
And you got the Red Odyssey. You downloaded Divinity on Switch, boy.
Hey man, it was a good sale. It was a good sale.
It was. It was. I got it on PC, and I'm supposed to be playing with some of my friends, but we can never freaking like these podcasts. We can never coordinate a good time for everybody.
There you
That's
go.
how it works,
Takuin
though.
is right there, people. There it is.
What's going on, guys?
Yeah, you're gonna have to block. No, you just go right there. All right. That berry
Yeah,
though.
man. I have not shaved since quarantine started, bro. I haven't had a haircut. I haven't shaved since quarantine started. This the full blown quarantine look.
Yeah. So, but I want that. I want Microsoft to do things, but I want them to not forget about the hardcore. Like one of the things that I brought up that like people saying like you look don't look at Microsoft at like as the way they used to be. You got to think outside the box. For them. I'm like that's to me. I think that's kind of dumb looking at outside the box because your hardcore audience is what's got you there. So
Yeah.
if you don't look at them, it's going to be a problem. Hey, question, guys. Tell me what the volume is of the game. Is the game too loud?
Oh, I can check that. Yeah, turn the game down.
Turn the game down.
You just always have to assume you gotta turn the game down, man. Games are loud as hell.
Hold on, let me check the properties. Well, there it is.
So yeah,
All right.
wow. Can't believe we spent all that time talking about Microsoft. They wasn't
No,
even
but
on the docket.
but yeah, but it's good. It's good. It's too loud. Turn it down. Give me a minute.
Hey, you gotta remember the chat's behind where we're at in real time. It's alright.
Hold on. Where's the goddamn setting? There it is. Audio.
Go to podcast crew chat. Yeah, so let's go ahead and talk about one of these things real quick since DC already mentioned it. There is a big ass Switch sale going on right now.
Yep.
Huge. The biggest Switch sale on the eShop you've ever seen. Promise you. At damn near every game you were possibly thinking about getting on the Switch is on sale in the eShop right now. Like so many games are on sale, it's ridiculous. I had to control myself. I think I only got two. I got what I get Torchlight 2 and Ori and the Blind Forest. And the sale ends on the 16th, which I think is Tuesday. There might be another game or two I'll pick up. We'll see. We'll see. Because, like I said, I've never seen Switch games or this many games on sale. And actually, what was it? I kept asking Cloud about Astral Chain because I never seen that game go on sale on the eShop. This is the first time I've seen it.
Pick it up.
And
I'm surprised he didn't pick it up.
I might, man. I might. I might just do it. But yeah, like Witcher 3, I was struggling because like Witcher 3 is on sale. Then you got, yeah, like I said, Astral Chain. What was another game? I was thinking about getting Witcher 3 on Switch because the cloud saves transfer between, PC and Switch now. So that might have been worth an investment. Yeah, a lot of games on sale. I'm not gonna sit here and list them all. Like, if you just scroll through the eShop, it's a pain in the ass to scroll through the eShop yourself, but you'll see how massive that sale is. How much is Astral Chain right now, Pharaoh's Astral Chain is like $48. Not like a huge sale, but you save like what, $12. And then you can use that $12 to get you some other games that are on sale at that price. So
Facts. Yeah, it's a dope game. You definitely should pick it up. Like I don't know why you'd be waiting on it to not pick it up. It's definitely a dope game, and everyone should have that game. But you were asking about the multiplayer because lately you've been wanting to do multiplayer games.
yeah, more. I wanted to get more into multiplayer games. I mean, specifically for the channel, so we're not just playing Monster Hunter all the time. Even though I got no problem with that. Just switch up some of the visuals every now and then. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
So I was making suggestions for things we could do on game night. There could be like Super Mario Maker 2. There could be we could play Monster Hunter on Switch. I got a message from what was it Patriot the other day. He wanted to play Generations Ultimate.
Yeah, I saw that. I mean, I don't mind. That's pretty. It would be cool if he came around.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
yeah, for game night we might switch it up a bit. Yeah,
Uh,
let's go for it.
what is? Oh my
Gotta be quick
god.
though.
I'm,
Sale
uh,
ends
I'm,
soon.
I'm getting mopped up right quick.
Yeah, I'm not
Yeah.
rushing right
What's the next topic?
now. So next thing we got here might be tied to the summer sale. The other side of the coin, the account hacks. Hmm.
I think that Nintendo did these sales to basically, I wouldn't say to get rid of like all like the negativity that's coming towards them, but to kind of like back it away. You know, like, hey, there's these great sales going on over at Nintendo right now. You should definitely go over here and check this out. You know, but 300,000 accounts hacked. Granted, there's a
So
lot of Switches out there, so the ratio of you getting picked of your account being hacked is pretty low, but it could happen.
the thing is, Nintendo's already notified everyone whose accounts had been hacked. So mine wasn't one of them. I never got anything from Nintendo, and I got this stupid, ridiculous password anyways. But
Yeah.
yeah, maybe the summer sale is related to that. I'll play devil's advocate and say there's a lot of other factors as well too. I mean, obviously we're in quarantine, so it makes sense to have a big eShop sale right now, since a lot of people aren't leaving their homes, staying there playing games. Yeah, I mean, easy money right there. And then we're also within the E3 range. Like E3 is normally around this time span, so this might have been planned months in advance.
Hmm.
So, yes, super savage. Definitely don't put credit cards on there.
I have my credit card on there, but it requires a ridiculously stupid password that I have going on.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah.
But I mean, definitely don't time with debit cards. Oh, that, yeah. I guess there's so much you can do with the credit card, but I mean, debit cards will literally clean you out. It's kind of scary. But yeah, so this is the 300,000 accounts is like it's not in addition to what was
It's
previously
basically
reported.
the whole total because I think it was
Yeah,
like last month it was well this month or the end of last month up to now it was like 150K accounts that got hacked.
yeah. And then Nintendo updated the number, said they believe it's around 300,000. So this is just updated news of what had happened, like Cloud said, about a month ago. So yeah, unfortunate. It happens to everyone here in the gaming industry. A few years ago, it happened to Microsoft and Sony during the PS3 360 days, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it happened to them back then. And it's happening to Nintendo now, since I guess people are now deciding that Nintendo's online is worthy enough to hack for whatever reason. But yeah, I mean it's a big corporation thing, man. This comes with the territory. People gonna try to get in, so gotta make sure your online security's on fleek.
My biggest issue is you got to find articles about this stuff. You don't hear this from like the guys over at RGT or the bigger YouTubers like Baron. You don't see these guys talking about this issue. None of them are talking about this stuff. They're completely like sleeping over it as if like, it's nothing. It's
Oh, but back in the day when PS3 got hacked, ooh, they was all over
oh
that.
everywhere.
All over that. I remember. I
Somebody was
remember.
saying something.
Who,
Somebody was getting on somebody. It didn't matter.
to be fair, well, not to be fair, but I remember those days because what was it? Sony come out with a really bold statement. They said, "This is a PS3, baby. You can't hack this." And people was like, "Excuse me? Say what now? I can't do what?"
Yeah,
Wish I had done
that
with
was
it.
dumb. You never call out the internet
No,
trolls.
no,
Never.
no. Fun fact, guys: nothing is unhackable. If it can be programmed, it can be hacked. That's all it is. It's just
Yeah.
changing around the program to bend to your will. So if you hear anybody call anything unhackable, that's a bold-faced lie.
It's unhackable. Well, the only place that's really good at like hacks is Blizzard. And the only reason that Blizzard is so good at this is because
They've
they
been doing online. How long is it?
yeah, but they not only that, but they require like every day you start up a game, there's like a minor install that has to be done before you can play online. And the thing is, it doesn't
Yeah.
change anything. It's not an update to fix anything. It's kind of like a DRM type of thing that has to be checked in every single day. Final Fantasy 14 Online has this too.
I think Guild Wars 2 does it as well. Yeah, just constant. That's the way you beat it. You just got to be updating so much that by the time it's figured out, there's already a new version. I think that's like the main way to combat it. But yeah, Blizzard been in the online game for a hot minute, way more than I would say most other companies. So yeah, and then of course all their quote unquote new games. I'm using that term very loosely, but yeah, like StarCraft 2, Diablo 3, World of Warcraft's all online. So they do that specifically so people can't hack.
Yep. And hold on, because the game is pretty loud. I gotta turn this down. But hopefully Nintendo can get on top of that and fix all that, because if they can't, you're gonna have more parents scared. You got kids and parents basically paying for Nintendo Online. So the fact that like they're like, oh, is it little Jimmy that's like spending like thousands of dollars on this? What could go?
Yep.
Things could go wrong.
Well, there's, you brought up a good point. That might be why Nintendo's targeted now, because they're playing with the other big boys in the online space, in the sense that I think in the article it talks about it, where people were using the hacked Nintendo accounts to buy a bunch of
live right now. I can't.
V-Bucks or whatever the stupid currency is in Fortnite, and then they're selling those online. So I mean, it's a roundabout way of getting real money, but yeah, they're using Nintendo accounts to buy virtual currency and then sell it for real currency, which I don't think there was any games on like Wii U or 3DS where like the online currency of games was a big deal. So I don't think there was any money in it previously, whereas now there is.
Facts. Sorry, I had to step away for a second.
All right, yeah.
All right,
So
next topic.
Yep, moving on. So here we have Japan. Nintendo applies for new trademarks, including Game Boy Advance and let me click on the article here. I believe it's the Wii U. Yeah, Game Boy Advance and Wii U. Now, of course, updating trademarks is just
wait. Say that again?
Yeah, they applied for new trademarks for Game Boy Advance and Wii U.
Whoa.
Whoa.
So are we talking about new titles getting remastered?
See, there's some speculation around that, and there's some speculation around Game Boy Advance coming to Nintendo Switch Online, along with the NES and SNES, which, could be a thing, could not be a thing. I don't know. Like I said, trademarks, it's really hard to pinpoint what specifically could be going on, because it could be any number of things, and it could just be them protecting their trademarks as well. So we might see something out of this, we might not. But,
Nintendo's pretty good.
The possibilities are there. The possibilities are there.
Nintendo's pretty good at actually no, that's a lie. I was about to say like they're pretty good at like bringing back like old titles, but are they?
Gosh, they were back on the Wii and the Wii U days. Granted, the Virtual Console didn't have everything we wanted back, but it had a lot of options.
Mm-hmm.
It really did. And the Wii obviously had a ton because it was not an HD system, and I guess when the Wii U had launched, there's some extra hoops you have to jump through to get those older games running smoothly in HD. So basically, they had to start from scratch on the Wii U, and I was like, cool. They built up the Wii U Virtual Console library a lot. It had a lot of stuff at the end of it, and I was expecting for that to automatically be transferred to the Switch. Like all those games, in my opinion, should have been available day one. You already did the work. It's all in HD, all that good stuff. But I don't know, man. I think there's obviously a lot of factors involved, especially a lot of those third-party games uh, we haven't seen yet. And then you see, stuff like the Castlevania collection. We see stuff like what was the other collection? I mean, obviously the Mega Mans. All the companies are doing their own collections of retro games, so maybe they don't want to be a part of, any virtual console service or Nintendo Switch Online. So I think there's a lot of things involved, but even if we take them out, there's a lot of just Nintendo first party stuff that they just haven't put up, and makes me kind of sad.
Yeah, there's a lot of IPs like I wish that was like could come back, like Banjo Kazooie, really good Rare games, but that's not the case anymore because one, Rare's gone, and Microsoft is not doing anything with it.
Those games are on Xbox.
Yeah. Yeah. So it would be nice, but I don't know. That's up to them.
It is, and I think, yeah, like I said, because the third parties have like caught on and started releasing their own collections of these things. Gosh, what was it? It's bothering me now because I was thinking Castlevania, and there's specifically another like retro collection that's eluding me. But yeah, you guys see it all the time.
Nintendo is literally holding third party. I mean, N64 games. Didn't they just didn't they do a Turok game and it completely got overlooked?
You talking about on Switch?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I could have swore they did Turok,
going through the eShop
and no one cared. No one cared.
No one talked about it beforehand. It went up. No one talked about it, and man, unless you specifically type it in the search engine, I don't think you're going to find it on the eShop.
No.
Yeah, that's what flew under the radar and swept under the rug immediately.
Hey, man, but
it is what it is.
It is what it is. I'm still waiting, still hoping. There's still hope that someday, Star Fox Adventures will make a comeback.
Man, you still holding on to that hope, huh?
I'm still holding on to that. I'm also still holding on to maybe one day that Nintendo may bring back a, what do you call it? Let me see. Jet Force Gemini. That was one of my favorite games on the N64.
To be fair, your expectations are higher than mine, or more realistic than mine. My bad. That's what I meant to say. I mean, you got your shit in check more than I do, because I'm still waiting on Bloody Roar, and that shit's owned by Konami. So
yeah. So
Ferris, we ain't never seen another Bloody Roar.
So Ferris was literally saying that eShop is crowded. I agree with him. I don't
feel like, I mean, in a sense,
it's crowded.
In a sense, it is crowded, but I think what makes it feel that way.
They don't even have their genres. They don't even have their genres separated properly.
Well, you can search by genre now. That's an update that went up like a week or two ago. But no, it's just the eShop just feels like a hot mess because it's not organized enough. Mm-hmm. And even then, when you search, I think you can only search by genre, or you can like search by price ranges. There's not any option to like search by developer, search by publisher. They need more different ways to narrow down your searches, in my opinion. And then, yeah, just they need to give us options to like, I guess, adjust the icon sizes, if you know what I'm saying, like, so you can see more games on screen.
Let's keep it a buck. We need themes.
We need themes, man. 3DS had themes. Do we need folders on Switch? I mean, you know what? Yeah, we need folders on Switch.
Oh,
you have folders.
We definitely need folders, especially for someone like you that only do digital. Oh God.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
Baby, get away from the camera.
eShop is a Steam store equivalent for consoles. I mean, yeah, in a sense, but Steam's kind of a lot more better when I load it. You know what I'm saying? If I'm scrolling through the eShop, it takes a minute for everything to catch up on screen. Like it's a frustrating experience, and I think that's really standing out at the moment.
Even when you're
huge,
hardwired,
massive sale that's going on, you want to see everything that's on sale, but you can't scroll through fast enough, man.
even when you're hardwired, it's still a pain.
Yeah.
Don't mind me. I'm looking for something. Go ahead. Keep talking.
Yeah, no, it's a frustrating experience because they just. I'm not saying they need to revamp the eShop entirely. They definitely need to find better ways to help you, like I said, narrow down searches. They need to find ways to like clean it up better. Super Savage Spirit says the world will end before Nintendo optimizes their online infrastructure, and yeah, he's 100% right. I believe so too.
There we go. All right. They just picked a random for me.
Pharos, I see what you're saying. Like, and that's what I'm saying too. There's not enough organization going on in the eShop. And I'll keep beating this dead horse. We still missing out on themes, the folders, virtual console, voice chat, all this stuff Nintendo has done in the past. I was talking about this, what was it, the other day? Was it yesterday? All the days blend together in quarantine. But look, when I was making my Nintendo console tier list, I had mentioned the DS was their first, like, real online system. And I was like, look, this thing came out in 2004, and like, yeah, you try playing on, and it's trash by today's standards. But when the thing came out in 2004, this was like a really good first online attempt from Nintendo.
Yeah.
Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me I'm wrong. You could voice chat on the DS when you were playing Pokemon. Bro, the console that came out 16 years ago can do that, and you release this Switch in 2017, and I can't? Come on, man. That's not okay. Yeah, man. It's sad. It really is. Yeah. See you in a minute, Pharos.
Yeah. Nintendo needs to do a lot of work to basically get back up with the fan base. And, I mean, they already have the fan base now. The fan base is there. They have it. Go away. They have the fan base now. They have people that are buying the Switch. It's literally the top charts consistently every single.
Oh, I mean that's another article I could pull up how it was the best-selling console again last month.
And I feel, and you know what? Until it hurts their money, they don't care. That's the part that sucks, dude. Until it's hurting their pockets, they don't care.
That's the thing. Like, again, I'll go back to that. But y'all should watch that tier list video. It's entertaining. Or I won't say entertaining. It's controversial. But
hey, can you guys get
when
out,
I was going
please?
through the Wii U,
Out. The camera's on.
Like,
I'm almost done.
look, the Wii U gets a lot of hate, but there's a
Get
lot of
out.
stuff it did right. Nintendo was actually trying with some of this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like that was, and to this day, that's still the best console web browser. I mean, it hasn't been updated in a minute, might not work no more. But hey, back in the days, that was the best console web browser.
Dude, we still don't have one on the Switch. We still don't have Netflix on the Switch.
We still have Netflix on the Switch.
And then what did Reggie say? Reggie, I love Reggie to death, but what was his bullshit response? His response was,
"You have to. It's out of our hands. You have to talk to the other companies about it." Not his exact words, but that's basically what he said. He said, "Hey, you gotta talk to these other companies about not having their apps on the Switch."
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, dude, you being serious? It was on the Wii U.
Facts.
It was like Prime Video was on the Wii U. Netflix was on the Wii U. You being for real here? And then what was it? It wasn't the DS. The DSi had the built-in web browser, right?
Yes.
And DSi had the camera. You could video chat on a DSi. That's wild, man. So it's not like we're holding Nintendo, or in my opinion, I'll speak for myself here. I won't speak for Cloud. I'm not holding Nintendo to the standards of what Sony and Microsoft are doing with online. I'm holding Nintendo to the standards of shit they already did with online. Like they've already been there. They've already done all this. And for some reason they can't do it here
They didn't
on their
lose.
most advanced system. Like,
They didn't
no.
lose developers. They didn't lose their engineers. They didn't lose everything that can make online games.
Oh,
So
Nintendo didn't fire nobody. Even in the Wii U days. What was it? Iwata took a 50% pay cut, and then the other executives took like 20 and 30% pay cuts because they weren't firing anyone. Like that's not what Nintendo's about.
well, that's actually the Japanese way. Like once you make it in the company, they do everything they possibly can to keep you there. They'll move you to different positions to find something that works for you. Once they feel like they've invested money into you, they'd rather see you become something somewhere else better or something like that. That's just the way they are. Like,
Hey, that's a good way. That's good. But I'm saying
yeah.
it's like that blew everyone away. It blew me away when Nintendo did that move where all the top people took pay cuts. It was like, we got our money, we make the decisions around here, and this company is flopping around right now because of things we did. They were doing what we told them to do. They're not getting punished for it. Where, you definitely don't see that like almost anywhere else, especially in the gaming industry. But I mean, just, you know, corporations in general don't make moves like that. So as much problems as I got with Nintendo with some of the decisions they make a lot of really good stuff, a lot of really good decisions too. So I
Well,
mean, it's a real
my
love hate
oh
relationship.
my god, same thing again. I walked away. Ugh. Well, Mike
So
Fasulo at Sony took a pay cut to basically. They keep giving me this freaking character I don't choose because I stepped away from the camera.
oh man, we went off on another tangent.
Nah, you good, man. Um,
I feel like we need to keep talking about these things. It's something I feel like we talk about every podcast. I've been
well,
saying it for years. I think we talked about this literally before the Switch even came out.
Well, here's the thing, though. A lot of people keep making that same post that Nintendo is like everyone's like, oh,
Mm-hmm.
Nintendo's coming out with the Switch Pro. Nintendo's coming out with this. We want more colored version of the Switch. No one's really saying anything about like the Switch itself, like the features it doesn't have. Like, hey,
Mm-hmm.
if and you gotta say that it's the fan base.
Yeah.
The fan
And
base.
something I'll bring up here, just for a quick second. When we come up in September, it's literally going to be the 2 year anniversary of Nintendo Switch Online. We're going to hit literally 2 years of having Nintendo Switch Online and not having anything we didn't have in the beginning. It's literally the same. They just added some more games to the NES and SNES. Like, that's it. That's all they did. Oh, and by the way, the other features of Nintendo Switch Online, how you get access to the eShop sales, that was free before.
And
Remember that?
and remember, we also had a rating system.
Well, yeah, on the Wii U and 3DS. I miss those days. I want that rating system back. Ah, look, it wasn't perfect, but I'm saying it was a general, rule of thumb. You could tell the game was trash or not. I'm just saying. And then I think with the way that people cheat the Switch Online when they go to like the best sellers,
Hmm.
like the rating system would let you know who's scanning the system. Like real talk, because you know how the best sellers works, right? It's the like top selling games for the past 2 weeks, but developers would cut their game down to like a penny, and then hit number one on the bestseller, and then when the
They're
sale
they're doing they're
ends, they're
doing
still
they're
number
doing that on the
one.
Switch now. What game was it? There was a game that it was an MMO game. It's an MMORPG. I actually have it here
Hmm.
on the Switch. I just got it. It was literally a
Which
penny.
one?
Where's that? Right here. Elemental Knights.
Hmm.
Literally, it's an MMO on the Switch. It was $39 to buy, and you go on the eShop, and it was a penny, a whole penny. I was like, why would I not do this?
Nah. See, see now when I look at games, it's not just about the price. It's I download everything. I'm like, is this literally even worth my hard drive space? Or you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Is it
That well,
literally worth the storage space?
that's because you're a digital whore. But I
Well,
digress.
no. Yeah, that's true, but it also it really gets you thinking about your purchases, right?
Hmm.
It's more than just, oh, hey, it's a penny. I'm gonna buy it for sure. I'm like, like, yeah, I know it's a penny, but it's still gonna suck up storage space, and it's like, is it even worth that? So I'm scrutinizing a lot of my purchases before I buy them.
Facts.
But yeah, like I was saying, it's like you got these people scamming the way the bestseller algorithm works on the Switch. And if we had a rating system for these games, we would straight up know it's like, okay, yeah, it's one penny, but it's a trash ass game.
Facts. That is true.
So yeah, if I go here to the download only bestsellers, I think they had fixed the algorithm for one penny and then developers started doing it for like two pennies. I think there's like now a minimum threshold of like your game doesn't show up here unless it's a dollar. But
That's funny.
yeah, still that was definitely a big problem they had that was fixed literally just weeks ago, like a month ago at most. Like it was a very recent development. So yeah, it sucks. Nintendo's technically been doing online for like the past 16 years, if we want to be technical with it. But man, they still act like they brand new. Oh hey, I see the Elemental Knights you're talking about. Man, this game would
It looks trash, but I'm like, hey, sometimes
yeah.
I just jump on some dumb MMOs to just kill time.
Not like this or not.
Yeah. What is the next topico?
So the next thing we got right here is Persona 4 Golden coming to PC, and apparently Nintendo fans was not too happy about that.
I'm not too happy about that at all. To be honest, I think that's disrespectful.
Oh, the Divinity sale ended. That's a shame.
That's actually multiplayer too, dude. You
Hmm.
lucked out. I mean,
Well, I have it on PC. I played on PC, so I was
you
like,
know what's crazy? It has
I was like,
cross
do I
save.
want to? It does have cross save?
Yes.
Damn, should have got it on Switch.
I was watching and waiting for that game to actually go on sale at some point, dude.
Damn. Oh, that would actually be great for game night. Fuck. But
Um,
you want to spot me $15 so we can replicate the sale and I'll buy the game?
I got you. Nintendo fans react. Oh yeah, so I'm a little upset about this one because
I
as
was looking at it
a
from a different angle.
hold on, let me wait. I'm gonna let you talk for a minute.
Okay. So, as you guys know, there was a rumor going around that Persona 4 Golden was going to come to PC, and then it got announced and released like very soon after, like a
Do
couple
y'all
days
see
ago, I
this?
think.
Do y'all see this? You see the shimmering
Um,
gold on it? You see that? I supported this game. I supported this game
we know you did, DC.
100%. 100%. Beat the game and all that. Loved it. Loved it. Day one that it came out, I even went out of my way, and when I went to Japan, they had I have to look in my stuff. They had a thing to basically play the game or to buy the game, and it had like some like trading cards or whatever. I supported the shit out of this game, and this is what Sony does. I mean, Atlas does. They literally
Mhm.
give this game to PC. This was one of the best-selling games on this in the top 10 on the Vita. It was one of the top 10 games on the Vita. I think top 4. And instead of putting it on PS4 because or putting it on PlayStation the PS4 or PS5 or something like that or a remaster, you give this to PC owners. Like, what the hell, dude? Like, the only way that a PlayStation fan was able to enjoy this game was to play it on the Vita. Hey, you're on the camera, buddy. Was to play it on Vita, and that sucked, bro.
What?
That sucks, bro. Like, that's a huge disappointment to gamers, man. Like, I don't know, man. Like it kind of upset me, yo.
Yeah, so there's that. But the article I have here was specifically how Nintendo fans felt about it coming to PC instead of Switch. Like, uh, I don't know. Just click on the article. Can you click on it, Cloud?
No, I'm actually in the middle of an online match right now.
Oh, damn. So we have some of these reactions, some of these tweets talking about Persona coming to PC before Switch, blah, 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 blah. This guy says he's gonna cryogenically freeze himself until Atlas grows additional brain cells and ports Persona to the Switch. Let's see here. There's some positive things. There's some people begging for it, and some people just full blown mad. Like, yeah, this guy with the all caps is like, "Are you fucking kidding me? Bring Persona 4 Golden to the Switch, damn it!" Like, yeah. So, a lot of different emotions
Man,
across the board.
Persona is not coming to Nintendo. It's either PlayStation or it's either PC. And Sony doesn't see PC as competition. You feel me?
Yeah, yeah. So, I mean, I guess if you want your Persona fix, there's a what's that? The Fire Emblem Shin Megami Tensei game that is neither of those games, but people have said it plays like Persona. I guess that's your Persona fix.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, there's that. And, we can talk about PS5. PS5 definitely happened.
Yeah.
I live streamed it here. We both live streamed it. I live streamed it here on Final Bash Podcast. Cloud streamed it on his
Yo,
DC
this
1983.
online glitch sucks balls, dude.
What online glitch?
There's like a crazy lag on the Switch for Street Fighter, man.
Oh man, I was literally just about to download it for game nights, man. But honestly, I'm trash at fighting games, so maybe I won't. Yeah, I'm just going through my wish list right now, seeing the games on sale. A good, I'd say 3/4 of my wish list is on sale. Yeah, I'll worry about that later. So, let's see. What was we talking about?
How this chick is getting mopped up easily.
Boy, you think you're good at the game, huh?
With this lag, no. Get out of here.
Yes, whoa, yeah, I remember we talked about PS5, yeah. So we did the streams. We also did an after event stream on Cloud's channel that I didn't do on this channel like I should have. So we're going to have to talk about some of our thoughts on the PS5 right now for those that ain't going to hop over to your channel, which I doubt. But anyways, we can just do a quick recap of our thoughts. I don't know how many times Cloud had jizzed himself watching the PS5 event, but I do know it was enough for Sony to cut off his access to the replay button.
Yo,
I'm just saying.
Just keeping it 100%. That's probably one of my favorite next to the reveal of Final Fantasy VII. I think that's probably one of my best right there. Then Breath of the Wild and Switch announcement. But if I had to rank, I would have to put the PlayStation at literally at number one, at like best live stream event I've seen to date.
Ooh, good question. We have Lakers Rams asking, do you honestly feel PS5 will ever move on from 30 FPS?
So I'm gonna sit back and I'm gonna laugh at everybody. Mark my words. Mark my words. Dudes are going to be stressed when they find out what's gonna happen with the PS5. Digital Foundry is basing their analysis and data off of a live stream that was in 1080p 30.
Yeah. So that's the thing. like it's very hard to judge anything strictly from like a live stream or a YouTube video because the compression of the visuals, the audio is absolutely insane. So it's, I mean, it's really hard to pinpoint that. Oh yeah, and the locked frame rate, like Klaus at 30 FPS. So I don't
So
think
they went back
picking
and they
apart
watched.
the YouTube videos is really going to do justice,
They
really,
went
to
back
what.
and watched a few of the videos, right? And they watched a few of the videos. Okay, this dude's pretty good. With this lag though, it sucks, bro.
You gotta pick a single player game, man. We need you to focus here more.
Yo, I'm sorry, man. Bitch.
Look, okay, I'll go ahead and give my thoughts real quick while Klaus getting mocked. So, do I think it'll move on from 30 FPS? Yes, definitely. I think there's certainly going to be a lot of those games. I'm thinking kind of like, you know, heavy visuals, like how God of War was on PS4. I'm thinking stuff like that and stuff centered around like single player experiences will be 30, but I'm expecting to see a lot more people try to push 60. I'm expecting to see that. And I think it's just going to be, you know, a game by game basis. It's going to be just based on whether or not that's something developers are really trying to aim for. So I feel like if it fits the the image, the quality, the vision. That was the word I was looking for. Gosh, why did I say that other shit? If it fits the vision that the devs have for the game, then yeah, they'll go for 60. They'll aim for 60. Hopefully they get it. But yeah, I think there's a lot of games that can get away with 30. So it's
Plus,
gonna be a mixed bag.
plus a lot of those games were pre-alpha. So when you watch Digital Foundry's first initial video, right? They went ahead and they said that what was it? What the fuck was it? Ratchet and Clank was native 4K. They counted every game they counted out. They counted those games as native 4K, right? Then they counted out Sackboy at 30. But yet then this article comes out of nowhere. It's like, hold on, I don't understand. How is that possible that you come out, you make a video, you sit down with your guys, and you then say native, you say native 4K. Now you have all these games saying that they're not native 4K. Then you say 30 FPS. Then first of all, if you watch the stream, you'll see for the fact that what do you call it? The hell's the name of it? That the fuck is the name of the game? Gran Turismo launched at 1080p 30. I mean, the video launched at 1080p 30. Then it got updated to 4K at 4K 60, right?
Oh, did it?
Yeah. Then it
When
got
did that
updated to
happen? I
4K
didn't see
60. The videos took a while to upload because when you do YouTube videos, right? YouTube videos, let's say my video right now, I uploaded it in 1080p HDR, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's only at 480p 480p HDR. So you have to sit there and wait for the decompression for it to work properly.
Yeah, you gotta wait for that, and then in our case for live streams, apparently you gotta wait for the next day before the video itself uploads. That's a
Facts.
damn shame. That's a damn shame. But yeah, no, I totally get what you're saying. When we were watching the live stream as it was happening, I mean, yeah, 1080p, 30 FPS, but then they started uploading all the individual trailers. In Cloud, when we went back in the after stream and was watching it, he was looking at all the stuff in 4K, and I mean, it made a difference. Just doing that. I mean, and it's still, you got to think about all the compression, everything that goes on when you're uploading to YouTube. So I feel like once you get your hands on a PS5, you hook it up to a 4K TV, 4K monitor, whatever, and then you actually see it. It's gonna be something.
Facts.
Oh, Stinkma asking for his $10. Oh man. But yeah, just I guess to go over real quick, you know what I thought of the PS5 reveal. I thought it was a great reveal. It was really good. It was a massive variety of games. They definitely emphasized showing off genres for everybody, for all different age groups. Like I kept saying when the stream was going on, this is showing a lot more family-friendly games than I thought they were going to show. I thought this was going to show like Ratchet and Clank and maybe like one or two other things and call it a day. But they showed off a good number of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, it spans, aside from fighting games, there was about every genre there. All the games looked good to be of good quality. And I feel like some of the stuff is really showing us what the next gen or what the PS5 is going to be capable of. And I was specifically talking about Ratchet and Clank. I kept saying, I was like, this might be the most impressive game to me right now because look how gorgeous this game is. Look how big and massive these worlds are. Look how fast they're loading when he falls through the portals. Like it wasn't just loading a game level; it was loading an entire world, and then he'd fall through a portal like 3 seconds later, and
Mm-hmm.
there'd be another world right there. Fully, it was flawless, seamless. Like that blew me away. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I'm super excited for the PS5, and I think the titles they got coming are gonna be fire. I don't think that the games are gonna be 30. I think that the games are end up gonna be much better than what people are expecting them to be. You know what I'm saying?
Yep, yep. Oh, by the way, I called. I mean, it wasn't Little Big Planet, but we got the Sackboy, and I was close enough. So when we was talking about what franchises we see Sony displaying in the PS5 reveal, I'm saying, in a sense, I called that. No one else did, so I'll pat myself on the back. Run that to the bank. Yes. I mean, I'm not saying just Ratchet. Oh no, no, Stigmas arguing Pharaohs in the chat. That's okay. Yeah, Kenna looked fire. Uh, I thought, gosh, I have to go back to Sony's channel, but I thought a lot of the games looked really good. I'm not sure how many I'm going to be scooping up immediately. We can talk about the system itself again. Cloud, had to go clean himself up real quick after that reveal.
Mm-hmm.
But I thought the system, I think it looks fine. It's definitely a massively different look from any previous PlayStation. I
Nah,
mean, if we go back,
Pharaohs is
if we
tripping.
go back through Sony's history of aesthetics when it comes to their consoles, they've all kind of followed a general rule of thumb, I guess, when it comes to the aesthetics of it. And then PS5 is like, we're throwing all of that out the window. You're gonna know this is different. It stands out. It doesn't look like any other console you own. When people come over to your house, they'll see it. They're gonna see a PS5. Not gonna be like, is that PS4? Which one is it? Is it the original? Is it the
Mm-hmm.
Pro? Like, I mean, it got to the point where a lot of PlayStations look kind of same. So they really want to let you know, man, this man different. Don't look nothing like no Xbox. Just
When you walk into
giant.
somebody's house, you're gonna be like, "That's a PlayStation 5." Like, there's not gonna be any mistakes. No
Mhm.
one's gonna not gonna mistake your PS5 for an Xfinity X5 modem. Whatever it is, because literally my X5 modem out there looks like a Series X. No one's gonna make that mistake.
Gosh,
Um,
the Series X looked like a fucking speaker.
yeah, it looks like a speaker. It looks like a fridge. And Kenna is fire. Kenna's Bridge of Spirits looks amazing. Gran Turismo Sport looks amazing. All of those games. What was it? Horizon Zero Dawn
Horizon, it's not
looks,
Zero Dawn.
and
Horizon,
and ever since
was it
the
Horizon
Killzone thing,
something?
what is it? Guerrilla Games does not launch anything that doesn't look like what they've shown. They got murdered for that a long time ago, and I doubt they want to do the same thing again.
Yeah, I think that's something that um, everyone should be doing in general. We still get game companies nowadays, mostly third parties at this point, where they be showing stuff like, reveal trailers. It looks phenomenal. You
Mm.
get your hands on the game. It's not even close. Not even close. And I feel like at this point, the only companies not doing that are
Nah,
Nintendo
Sport
and Sony,
Grant.
because, they have more of a rep to uphold when it comes to keeping promises as far as like the quality of games revealed. So yeah, I know Nintendo's really good at it. Like they'll show reveal trailers for some of these things, and by the time you get the final product, it's actually better than those trailers. I think Sony, at the very least, it's the same as what you're getting from the trailers. Some of these other people, man, need to take notes because when
Facts.
you reveal a game and it looks like, well, what was that game? Was it Watch Dogs? It looked amazing in the trailer, and then you got your hands on it, and you felt robbed.
Hold up, I'm trying to find something.
Oh,
Well, what shenanigans did he say now?
oh, what's he saying? Blah blah. He said, at first I thought the PS5 looks cool. After sitting back and taking another look at it, it looks ugly. He said it might be Sony's ugliest system.
So
Damn.
The George Foreman grill actually looked good. I
I
don't
don't
know
know
about
about
that.
that.
Yeah, stop it.
Oh, PS3 Slim was a very ugly system.
Exactly. The top up, the what was it? The
Nah.
PS2
What was it?
pop
The
up,
slide you had to. No, that was
the
bullshit.
pop up PS2. Stop it. Cut it out. No, no,
Oh,
no,
that's
no,
right. Hold
no.
on. There was like the PS2. What was it? They slimmed, and then there was like they slimmed it down again. And I'm like, okay, we've gone too far.
Facts.
Yeah. Uh, there's two versions of the PS5. We can talk about that. There's a digital only version, and there's one with the disc drive. Now, personally, I think the digital version just looks better. It's more symmetrical, more aesthetically pleasing to me. That's probably the version I was going to get anyways. You guys already know I download all my stuff. So, Cloud here, he's such a big fanboy. He's getting both of them.
Just look at that thing. Look at it.
Yeah. How many PS5s is getting Cloud? I think he's
I'm
going to
getting
buy two.
two.
Sony's going to give
Uh,
him two,
I'm getting
and
two.
some other shit. Yeah.
This is ugly. You're crazy. Look at that. Look.
Oh yeah, yeah, that's right, that's right. One of our sub goals when we hit 1,000 subs, Cloud's going to kick his wife out of bed. He's going to start sleeping with the PS5. So
Oh yeah, that's night and day.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. He'll record it at least once, and then that's one of our 1,000 sub goals. What else we say we're going to stop cursing at 1,000 subs? I'm kind of iffy on that one. Damn, I forget. So
And
many
then
long
and then
promises that
and
I
then
can't
you
keep up.
have this beautiful thing. This does not look like GT Sport. Look, that does not look like GT Sport. Look at that.
Yeah, man.
That looks
We were a little worried that
ridiculous.
it wouldn't be able to place on its side when we saw the reveal trailer, but I guess it was weird when they flashed the console laying on its side. It wasn't in the PS5
Hardware
trailer. If that's
reveal.
making sense.
It
Yeah, it
wasn't.
wasn't in the hardware trailer.
It wasn't in the hardware trailer, which was
It
kind
was
of crazy.
it was some random part of the direct. Why am I calling it direct? Presentation. Sorry, Nintendo fanboy over here. But yeah.
Look at that shit. Pharos is crazy. Oh my god. All right, that's enough of that.
Damn.
That's enough of that. 4K 60. Let's hold on. Let's go back. What else did they say was
I mean, at least it looks way better than the prototype that was leaked online.
you see, that's the
Yeah.
whole thing with Digital Foundry basically calling these games 4K. A lot of these games being 4K 30, right? Hold
Mhm.
on. Let me look up the article and see what games
Hold
did
on,
they
let me
say.
see if I can size this out. All right, so that's a controller. There's this controller. How many controllers tall is this thing? It looks like one, two, probably like three and a half controllers tall. So this, go like that. Um, hmm. I guess it's really not that. I'm thinking it's not that tall of a system. Could be wrong though.
I'm trying to find the article. There was an article that basically showed the games running.
PS5 looks like it's for kids. PS5 for everybody.
All right,
Did you not watch the reveal?
here's the article, right? The article says games at 30 FPS. One, Insomniac hasn't said anything about this game running at 30 or 60 plus. It's pre-alpha. Stray it's a game about a cat. How the fuck can that be 30?
No, what's the species called? It's not a cat. It's a
Whatever.
damn.
Then they have
Fuck me, I
Housemark.
know that.
Housemark is known for all their games being 60. They showed a pre-alpha trailer of a game that's not even coming out this year. Then you have Kenna. Kenna Disney. Hold up. Let me go to Kenna right quick.
What about kind of?
They're saying that Kenna is also 30. I don't understand how you get 30 from YouTube trailers. Then on top of that, when Digital Foundry, like Digital Foundry is the same guys that literally say like download our stuff at YouTube or digitalfoundry.net in order to get the full aspect. We both know that when you upload something to to YouTube, it gets destroyed. So how are you pixel counting 4K on a YouTube stream?
No, no, man. Could not tell you. I mean, of course, everyone wants to like make their early assumptions, early impressions, because that's easy views, that's easy clicks. If you're talking about the frame rates, the resolutions of everything, of something that's not out yet. People want to know these things. They want to know the details, and even though people not getting the right details, they'll upload the details they have and watch the clicks roll
So
in.
you want to know how Digital Foundry's bullshit? Check this out. They have on here that Resident Evil is 4K 60, probably 60. That's the Digital Foundry
Mhm.
take, right? You go on Sony.com on YouTube, and you look for Resident Evil. It's recorded at 1080p 30. Where'd you get 60 from?
Could not tell you.
All right then. So it's I feel like they have this staple where they're capping for Xbox, or they have like I feel like they have like some sort of like thing with PlayStation where they're not the PlayStation didn't invite them out to the event and cater to them, cater to me. They didn't do any of those things. They didn't go out there and get Digital Foundry out there and make these assumptions or let them play with the system, touch the controller. But Microsoft literally sends them to Microsoft Studio in Fairfield, wherever the fuck it's at. And they have Austin Evans take apart the system and all this other bullshit, right? They have all this stuff that they break down and take apart, right?
Mhm.
So they get to talk about it. But you hear Richard Ledbetter on the YouTube channel when he did his thing. Is this the show for them to show off? What was it? Bug snacks? Is this something you want to call the future of gaming? I don't see him that critical when it comes to Xbox. I don't see John, that critical when it comes to Xbox. The only person that's critical on Digital Foundry is Alex, the PC dude. He don't give a fuck about the games or what they run. He cares about the actual architecture of how the games are designed, the lighting, all of those things, everything in general that is he cares about how the games are made. He's obsessed with that type of stuff. But you can't go on here, look at a YouTube video, and see that it's 30 and 60 just because. So what happens now if Resident Evil comes out and it's 30? So that means Digital Foundry lied because they went out of their way to say that these games are running at 60 and 30. I didn't see them do that for Valhalla when it came to the Microsoft thing. They waited for on what is it? Uplay or on what is it? Ubisoft to come out and say that. I didn't see them go through Microsoft's that event that sucked and talked about those games and say what those games are native or 4K or if they're 60 FPS. They didn't do anything like that. They didn't do any of that. But they literally want to do that for PlayStation. I feel like there's some underlying thing where they don't like PlayStation.
Well, I don't know. I'm not going to go that far to say they don't like PlayStation, but I do feel like you're onto something with that. Xbox kind of caters to them more, or Microsoft caters to them more, providing them with more, access, more shit. I don't know. Not at 1,000 subs yet. I can keep cursing. So what the fuck ever.
Yeah.
Microsoft provides them with more shit than Sony does. So they, you know, consciously or subconsciously hold Microsoft in a better light.
That's a given. They hold them in they hold them in a different light, and I don't think it's fair because when you post these articles on these suggestions, this is the time right now where it's immediately the moment you say anything like that, right this very moment where everyone's hungry for news, hungry for information, you post something like this right now, everybody and their mother is going to take that shit,
Hmm.
they're going to take it home, they're going to buy stock in it, everyone's going to write an article about it. You have one website talking about it, you have two websites talking about it, they're going to go drive that shit home.
Yeah, and then you also have to think about like this is Digital Foundry. Like they've already built up a very good reputation for themselves. They pride themselves on we're the technical breakdown
Mm-hmm.
of, just gaming in general, I would say at this point. So
I'm not
people are
a.
going to hang on their every word.
Mm-hmm. I'm
When they
not a
when they
fan.
post a video, people listening.
I'm not a fan of when they do technical breakdowns of trailers. Like when Rockstar dropped Red Dead Redemption 2 and they showed like the in-game footage. And they did a breakdown on that, talking about the ass. I'm like, bro, did they send you an uncut version of this? If you're talking about the YouTube clip, bro, that's stupid.
Yeah. So I don't know, man. I don't know. Look, here's what I know. People go to Digital Foundry for the facts. They go there for the details because I know damn sure ain't nobody showing up there for any personality or energy because they pretty fucking bland. But there's certain videos I gotta give it to them. They'll go through and they'll break things down. And I think it's best to go to Digital Foundry if you're curious to see how games run on various systems. Like right here, like literally right before we started this podcast, Cloud was showing me what was it, Borderlands on the Switch, and they break it down very well. They got the side by side comparisons. They're great when it comes to that. When it comes to things outside of specifically breaking down how games run, different frame rates, resolutions, the dips and all that, I'm a little more skeptical when it comes to them. But like I said, because they have built up the reputation, they have this one thing that they do really well. People start assuming like, everything these guys do, is on this level. So I totally believe everything. Might want to keep that in check.
Yeah, you definitely want to keep that check, and they should see this. Why? Because when it comes to their videos on like graphics cards or GPUs that's good for 4K or whatever it is, when it comes to hardware PC, because that's where they were founded on, right? They did PC breakdowns and all this other stuff. When it comes to like their PC breakdown stuff, like graphics cards, they don't get that type of views. So that means your viewers tune in when it comes to console gaming. And it's not 800,000 casual, I mean, hardcore people watching, it's casuals. So when you say things like that, you're like, oh wait, so I have a PS4 Pro, like the same thing that Obi-Wan Play said, and it sucked that he had to say this, and I get exactly where he's coming from. The fact that the Xbox One X is gonna have like backwards forward compatibility, right? He looked at it as like, hey, I'm gonna get these. This is a 4K gaming machine. I'm gonna get these games in 4K. There's no need for me to upgrade. The same thing is gonna be looked at on console, on PlayStation, where it's like, these are not forward compatible games, but it's like, hey, if I'm only getting 1440p and 30, do I really need a PS5? I only play third party games anyways.
I don't know, man. We're entering a very interesting era of gaming where we're seeing. I brought this up before. We're seeing all the big three companies going their own way. Nintendo's obviously, going for the console handheld mix. You see Sony chugging along with, the tried and true home console, but they're trying to bring it up to the next level with the things they're doing with the solid state, and Microsoft doing whatever the fuck Microsoft's doing. So, I mean, we have for I feel like the first time in gaming, everyone trying their own thing, as opposed to Before, either everyone would be on the same page. Like if we go back to, GameCube, Xbox, and PS2, more or less, everyone was doing basically the same thing. They had the consoles, we're just cranking out the best kind of quality games we can put on these systems. And really, aside from like the controllers, the exclusives, it wasn't too much different. And then, it started to change with the Wii and then, PS3 and 360, they was still they were still going head and head, right? Same thing with like Wii U with the Switch. And then we compare PS4 to Xbox One, bigger, better boxes. But now we're getting to this point where everyone's branched off, walking their own path. So it's not so much now as, I mean, it's still a big part of it. You got to consider, what exclusive games do I want to play? That's the system I want to play on. Before, that was the only choice. That's really the only choice he had. It was like, all right, this game got the exclusive, this console got the exclusives I want. This is my console. But now you got to think about these other factors. It's like, I mean, maybe not all the games I want are on the Switch, but playing on the go is very important to me. You might look at something like the PS5. It's like,
this is why I think Nintendo needs to take advantage at the time they have now and capitalize on this market of portability and do it at a better resolution. Because if you don't and somebody else comes in and offers the same type, because remember, Switch is selling well not just because of their exclusives, because third-party games that people want to play on the go. If somebody comes in and does it better, they're like, yo, I could play my games on the go, I could do this on the go, and I could look almost as good as my PS4 or my PlayStation 5, and it's portable, 1080p, OLED display, more battery life, and you know what I'm saying?
That's what I'm saying.
Because you look.
I want to see somebody do it.
You look at
somebody light a fire under Nintendo, please.
You look at the Switch's sales, and the Switch's the first party games are selling 10, 12 million. That's great, but there's over 50 million Switches out there. So people are not just people out there aren't just buying fucking Nintendo games. They're buying third party games. So yeah. As for who was it that said this? Was it Stink Mahone? Let me go back. No offense, Takuma, but personality. Ferris is Ferris.
I mean, yeah, there's that.
Hey yo, DC, it feels like you got a renewed energy and stuff that you've been putting in and out of the shows, bro. Yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. Lately, I've just been like, there hasn't been a lot of people that really talks tech and really puts in their opinion in our side of the community. Those people exist outside of the community. But I feel like there's not a lot of people that do what I'm trying to do right now, like trying to unify gamers, trying to unify like everything, and just speak freely. Just speak freely and just put your opinions there and stand on top of it. Like, comedically, being funny, being serious. I'm going back to the old Dark Cloud, but professional, where I stood by what I said. I really am looking for a change. I want FDP to grow. I want my new channel to grow. I want to do hardware, tech reviews, and all this other stuff. So, yeah. So, like, thanks for noticing, dude. Like, lately I have been in a whole different. This is me. This is me. No filter. No one's watching me. No one's telling me what I can't say. Shit like that. This is me. So
yeah, I think that's one of the best things about being on Final Dash Podcast at this stage of where we're at in the channel. We kind of don't give a fuck. Yeah, we say what we want to say.
So what are you saying?
Maybe when we grow and have like a certain audience, and
are you saying
cut
that
back on some of the things we do? But
are you saying that if Nintendo sponsors us, we can't curse anymore?
No, Nintendo sponsor. I don't know. That's up in the air because
are we gonna be like Dashy Games?
By this, Nintendo is for everyone. Remember back in the Wii days when people were protesting games like Mad World on the Switch, or not on Switch, on the Wii? Remember that? People were protesting that game, and Nintendo came out and says, like, no, the Wii is for everybody. Yeah, that includes, little kids and grandmas and grandpas, but that includes people that want to play games like this too. And they move forward and release Mad World on Switch. On the Wii. I keep saying Switch. Y'all know what I mean.
That game should be remastered for the freaking Switch, bro.
Yo, it should be. That was Platinum's first game. I had a lot of fun with it. And the story was actually a lot better than what I was expecting.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
Um,
no.
one
Making
of
this fun.
one of the things I
Gosh, what
want
was
to
I
touch
gonna say?
on, we were touching on the whole PlayStation thing. One of the things we didn't touch on this channel for the review, I mean for the podcast, was developers that talk positive and talk negative, and just basically look at the SSD or just NVMe in gaming going forward as an afterthought or a joke, or it's not that serious, it's not that impactful. You know where I'm going with this. The guys over at
I fucking don't.
Ori developers came out and said that the SSD in the PS5 is amazing. It's great. It's super fast. But when it comes to third party, it's an afterthought. And
Oh, right. Yeah. Okay,
my
I'll let you give your
immediate
thoughts.
response to this is, I'm like, bro, you're a fucking third party developer. You making games takes long as shit, because you have to duplicate assets after assets. And when I say assets, most people don't know what I mean when I say that. I'm talking about like post signs, like game, like this statue right here of the dragon. If you see this dragon here multiple times, the switch isn't fast enough to grab it multiple times to do it real time at a faster pace. So they have to multiply it and duplicate it thousands of times. The AI for this fat dude, multiple times. Just the leaves blowing multiple times. As a developer, all that does is cut into your time. That's why games are launched broken. They have to be patched, they have to be fixed, they have to have all these things done to the game, because the way that developing is done now is it's tiresome. That's why some developers, they look at things like ED-RAM and all this other stuff. It's like, man, I don't really want to fucking have to edit for this shit. I don't want to have to do this. It's going to take longer. We make the joke about developers. They're lazy. It's not because they're lazy. No one wants to sit there and reduplicate assets over and over and over again. And the thing is, like, this guy does Ori, right? He's doing games for Microsoft. Microsoft also has an NVMe. It's literally 10 times faster than what's in the Xbox One X. Even just taking advantage of that alone is going to change the way development and games are being done going forward. And to say it's going to be an afterthought, like, you should be one of the developers to be like, yo, let's get on board. I commend everybody. I personally commend Square for doing Project Athena, where it's develops exclusively for the PS5, enhanced for the PS5 for the SSD. All of those things. Like, developers that are preaching this and taking advantage of it. What is it? Ubisoft. Who is Dice is gonna take advantage of it. Who else? Square. We just talked about them. Epic is gonna take advantage of this type of stuff. And it's like, okay, we should all jump on board with this, because this is going to change gaming. Like, again, and I keep preaching this, I keep saying this, I have 5 terabytes of NVMe 4.0 .2 in my PC. When it comes to PC gaming, I'm not even touching 10% of that when it comes to PC versions. You know why? Because the game is developed on console in mind, developed within console in mind, and then ported over textures, graphics, make sure the game runs better, HDR, resolution support, and all those other things, right? Having an NVMe means that it grabs the assets faster, but it still has to run through the unnecessary things that it has to do to take advantage of it. I don't know, man. I'm raging because I think that as a developer, you should be on board with this shit day one. Because this is just going to make your company make better games. Go ahead, Taco. You do your thing, man. I'm turning red here.
Okay, so yeah, there's everything you said, obviously, but the way I'm looking at it is like there's 2 different ways this is going to play out. It's going to be one of these 2 things. Now, one is going to be something. Actually, no, we've seen both of these things in the past. So, first thing is that developers are going to go for the lowest common denominator, right? So, gosh damn, hold up.
Nah, he's good, man. He's good. Don't worry about the puppy. I'm pretty sure someone was just walking by.
Man, gosh. All right, so lowest common denominator is that developers take into account the weakest system that they're developing for, and that's the version of the game that they make, and they basically just port it over to the other systems. So we've seen that in the past. And for multiplats, that might be how they do it. And in the case between the the next box, I keep forgetting the stupid fucking name. Whatever. The next Xbox and the PS5, even though this next Xbox may be more powerful, they might consider this to be the lowest common denominator simply because it's going to be more or less the old way of developing games. And they might just port that over to PS5. And I don't want to see that because that means the games are still going to be huge as fuck, taking up all this space. And that is something I don't want to see next gen. The game's taking up way too much space. You got stupid ass motherfucking Call of Duty with 30, 40 gigabyte updates. No.
That's why, you know, that's why those games are large, right? It's because hundreds of reused assets over and over and over again, cars, AI, things that's being used multiple times because your traditional mechanical hard drive takes forever to grab shit, so you got to do it thousands of different times.
I don't want to see that. I don't want to see that be the case. And now here's the other route that could play out. And this might be on a developer basis. They, might just it might just come down to whatever they choose. But the other route, the one I want to see, is that they'll take the path of least resistance, which they have also done in the past. And this would be using the PS5 as the base because it's going to be kind of like easier to develop and make things on a PS5, and then they might struggle to put it on an Xbox Series X, right? That's what I want to see. So now Microsoft can take a look in the mirror and be like, all right, we got to step it up.
Facts.
So
no, you're right. You're right.
I want to see them go that route. I really do, and I think if that becomes the case and Microsoft doesn't do anything about it, then we could see a lot of games exclusive to PS5s. Developers might go like, hey, the PS5 is getting a lot of attention. So many people are buying it or have already bought it. It's got this huge audience. I don't feel like we're really losing too much on developing for the Xbox, or it might not be worth the development costs. So we might see an era where, might be like good old PS2 days where there's just a plethora of games and a lot of exclusives.
We're kind of seeing it now. Like, what was one of the themes that we're seeing on the PlayStation event? Develop exclusively for PlayStation.
Yeah, like I said, if the PS5 is everything is hyped up to be, and development process is really that smooth and easier, to get these visuals, all this stuff crammed in there, then they might just say, hey man, screw it. It's just so much easier to crank games out on a PlayStation 5.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's going to be one of those two things. And like I said, it might come down to the developer, but eventually one of those two paths is going to be the norm for next gen. You can quote me on that.
And you know what? I think it better be the norm where it takes advantage of that stuff, because at the end of the day, again, the Xbox also has an NVMe drive. Yo, it's blowing my mind, dude. Like, so it's like you're only going to take advantage of the graphical power. You're not going to take advantage of the development assets or how the games can be developed going forward.
Yeah, I want to real quick bring this back to PlayStation 3 and 360. Even though the PS3 was technically a better system when it came to like the specs of the hardware itself, because the 360 was so much easier to develop for, that was the baseline system. Things got ported over to PS3, and we know a lot of the multiplats didn't run as well on PS3 because of this, because the system itself was so much different. It took a lot of extra development time to bring those games over. And I don't think, maybe towards the end there, some people actually got to optimize it, but for majority of the generation, most third-party devs never bothered to optimize shit on PlayStation 3. So it might be the reversal of that.
And remember, the PlayStation 3 was way more powerful.
Mm-hmm. So we might, like I said, see PS3 or not PS3, PS5 as, oh, this is the easier console to develop for. And by the time they put it on Xbox Series X, even though it's technically a better system when it comes to the specs, it probably won't be optimized. I'm thinking we're going to see that flip happen next gen. They're hoping to hook in casuals. That's the thing. That's another thing I want to talk about here. Nintendo, you guys know, has always prided itself on being, that game company for everyone to enjoy. Obviously, always had this family-friendly image. And I think it's interesting to see, I don't want to say so much a shift, but kind of Sony and Microsoft singing the same tune. That's definitely the vibe I was getting watching the PS5 reveal. And I'm not knocking them for it. That's a great thing that they're trying to include everybody in here. And, I think Microsoft in their own way is trying to do the same thing. Whereas before, like I would say, especially during the PS3 360 days, they really prided themselves on, we're for the core gamer. We got the beefiest game consoles and hardcore games, and they never really bothered to really cater to or show anything that might have been for a younger audience. But yeah, nowadays they seem to be broadening their horizons when it comes to that. So I feel like we're entering an era where we might see all companies, by mid or the end of next year, where we view all three of them as, yeah, those are great systems for everybody, not just hardcore shooters.
Yeah, well,
You know what I'm saying?
I could say this, that Microsoft has been changing a tune, because there has been the jokes that Microsoft has like a new tune where they're trying to be like Nintendo, where their games are kiddie-ish or whatever the hell it is that they're doing, that people are saying is like, oh, that's what they're doing. They're changing it, like, and they have Halo, Gears, and Forza. So they have been changing, motherfucker. They have been changing their tune to other gamers, and just trying to be expanding to other games. They have their arcade racer. Like, did we get a new Forza? We got Horizon. What was it? Horizon 2, and that was it. Forza Horizon 2, and then what was it 3? I don't know. Whichever, the one that just recently came out not too long ago.
I have no idea. That's not my shit at all.
Either way, they had that, and then it was like, okay, they have a game for that person, and that's the game that was more popular. So I guess they're seeing that people are tending to you know what it is? I'm just gonna come out and say it. Microsoft is waiting for the next the next Fortnite, and they want to be the ones that make it. Let's just be real. Let's call a spade a spade. That's what they want. Nobody can sit here and disagree with me. They want to be the next company that creates the next Fortnite game.
Everybody wants to be that company, but only one person's going to do it, or one company's going to do it, I should say. And the thing is, it's funny. I was about to say Fortnite was lightning in a bottle when it really wasn't, because it was PUBG. I'm not saying PUBG is the originator, but it's what really kicked off this. What are they called? What's this genre called? Battle arena? Not battle arena.
Battle Royale.
Battle Royales, yeah. It's what kicked off this Battle Royale genre, really. And all PUBG had to do was actually make their game good. But no. And then you got all these, other Battle Royales, these, I guess, clones you could call them, that have mopped the floor with PUBG. So it's
Ferris, I'm going to make a trip.
Being first is cool, it's important, but being the best is what really matters at the end of the day. And even if Microsoft comes out and makes the next best thing, the next big thing, I should say, if they come out and invent the next big thing, it will not matter unless it's the best at whatever the fuck that is.
And you gotta look at the history of Microsoft. If something doesn't work, they're not afraid to just drop it. And so PlayStation 2, look at Vita.
Yeah, they will do that in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
I feel like all the big three have abandoned things, but Microsoft, they'll drop things like that. I feel like they don't. I don't know. I'm trying to.
Yo, Pharaoh's just
They'll
being a
drop
total
anything faster than
nutbag
Sony.
right now.
That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, I don't know. I want all these companies to do okay, but I want for like I'm gonna use an example. There's people saying that Microsoft is looking at the larger picture. They don't care about us or what you specifically want. They want to reach that 2 billion gamer, right? What's the one company that don't pay attention, that does not respond to gamers when they outcry? Sony and Nintendo. And Sony.
Specific. I mean, yeah, we'll say Sony too, but I mean specifically Nintendo.
When Sony was coming out, when Sony was basically talking about putting first-party games on PC, the outcry was crazy. It was heard by fans, it was heard by hardcore, it was heard by casuals, it was heard by everybody. And remember, us the hardcore is only, what is it, like what, 10% of gaming sales and all this other shenanigans, right? So let's say that's we're a very small amount. So what did Herman Hulst do?
If we want to really take a look at hardcore numbers, we can literally look at Wii U sales, like 13 million or maybe 14 million at the end of the day. That's the number of real hardcore Nintendo fans.
Facts.
The rest of any numbers past that are not people fucking with Nintendo that heavy.
Yeah. You look at PlayStation. Look at the font, not Spider-Man, because Spider-Man is an open franchise. Look at Uncharted. Look at Last of Us. Those games do 10, 12 million. There's 110 million PS4s out there.
Ooh, is it 110? Oh, damn.
Yeah, it's a lot of them out there, right? So, what did Herman Hulst do? If he's trying to capitalize and make money, right? He's trying to get a huge amount of money, more fans, more people to play his games. Why the fuck would he give about that very small percentage? If he can bank and make another 10 million off of Horizon Zero Dawn on PC. He comes out and then he says, I've heard, I've seen, you didn't go unnoticed, we have to pay attention, and we're not going to launch games day and date. That, they can care for everybody, they can cater for everybody, but when Microsoft sat there and literally went ham, and I mean, what was it? When Xbox fans went ham and was like, yo, we don't want your games on PC. We don't want your games on PC. We don't want these games to go here. We don't want you to cancel Scalebound. What the fuck are you doing? Microsoft didn't give two fucks. They just did what they wanted. Didn't respond to those gamers. Didn't do anything. So they can do what they're doing, but they also still have to cater to their hardcore people. What's up, N Bandai?
Yeah, I think the way the companies are doing it now is, probably the way we'll see it going forward is we're seeing games like, Nintendo fanboy. Let me look at the Switch. I see something like Ori and the Blind Forest on the Switch when, like, literally a few months later, Ori 2 was coming out on the Xbox One. So, and it was kind of the same thing with Horizon Zero Dawn coming to PC. Like, yeah, it came out on PC, but then we got the next Horizon game coming out for the PlayStation 5, like a few months from now. Mm-hmm. So I feel like that's how they're going to do it. They'll take some of these games that are going to kind of older and have a sequel on the way, and then they'll be like, all right, we'll put it on PC. We'll put this on, another system, in the case of the Switch here. And they'll be like, people will play this game and be like, okay, what's next? What's after this? And then they got to look towards, PlayStation 5. They got to look at an Xbox One and be like, okay, the sequel's over here. So it's, a very interesting way for them, obviously, to make more money off of that same game by putting it on a new system and broaden the audience. But it's also a way for them to point the finger back to, okay, now go over here. If that makes sense.
No, it makes perfect sense.
So I think that's the way we'll see it going forward. I don't think it's a bad way to do it at all. I think that's a very fair way to do it. Because you look at Horizon Zero Dawn, and it's made all this money on PS4. Like, they might get some sales trickling in here and there, but they've already sold all the copies that they probably ever will on PS4. So putting it on PC, not a big deal in my opinion. And then you're going to get more people interested in the franchise, and then they'll be like, okay, Horizon was fire. I got to get the sequel on PS5.
Yep. That's the way I see it. And they could, you know, they could do what they want to do. They can.
It's very clever, right? You're re-releasing the game, but it's also an advertisement for that game at the same time. It's like advertising people pay for it. Brilliant.
I think that again, just like you said, they're gonna make money on it. They're gonna make money, but the way that Sony is doing it, it's making their fans feel like I'm not being left behind. I'm not being neglected. I granted, so like, hey, I'm neglected. Hey, you feel neglected, you little baby? Like, you know, people feel entitled. But at the same time, if you want, like, what Sony did was gold. Horizon Zero Dawn's coming to PC. But if you want to play the new one, you're only getting it on console, on the PS5. Shit. Yeah.
Now, you gotta remember, I'm not watching the live stream. I paused this. I paused the live stream to save bandwidth. I read the chat.
No, you're good. All right. Hold on. Buy your Logic only games need. No, it's. Oh, stop it. Oh yeah. Look at Grand Theft Auto. Why is Rockstar releasing this game that's making them billions of dollars? They're putting it on another system, GTA 5, on another system, and then enhancing it.
And it's not the Switch.
And it's not
That's the most surprising thing to me.
It's not the Switch.
It's putting GTA 5 on everything that's not.
Killing the market.
Bro,
Everybody wants that game that everybody wants to play. They can milk it. The amount of money that, put it this way. I foresee in the future that Rockstar just makes a GTA Online. Not a 5, not a 6, not a 7. One where they can keep just updating it and just adding more to it, changing. Because this new one,
it's like a GTA MMO.
Yeah, it's like a GTA MMO, and they're just changing the world. Because just like they did with Final Fantasy 14, they can update and change the actual graphics of the world and make it look better over time.
That's true.
They can do that.
It's just one game that they have to keep track of and update, and then everyone buys that one game. Yeah, that could be a thing, and then they'll cram it with a bunch of fucking microtransactions.
Facts. Yeah.
So, are we reaching the end here?
Yeah, we're reaching at the end here. If anybody has any questions or anything like that, ask it now. PS5 coming in my house.
New here for how we end these. All right, it's still our tradition of what grinds our gears, but this time, in addition to you and me talking, I want to invite the chat. What grinds your gears? And we'll talk about that.
Give me 3 minutes.
But I'll let Cloud start.
Yeah. For you guys, go ahead and put what grinds your gears. Also, like, subscribe, and reshare. And also subscribe to DC's Nerd Talk. It's my YouTube channel. Just type in DCS Nerd Talk on YouTube, and you'll find me. I'll put it in the chat if I get a chance. But
there's also my Taco and Hiwatari channel, which I know haven't updated in a while, but I think I'm getting to the point where I'm figuring out how to distinguish what content goes on here and what content goes on there. So I'll have something coming up here within the week. Yeah, Cloud, what grinds your gears? What grinds your gears this week?
What grinds my gears is no, because I do it too. I'm not going to say that. All right, so I'm going to go with what grinds my gears is people that basically push their agenda for their box and not look at it on the outside perspective of how gaming could be advanced for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
The people look at the Series X, they're like, it's the most powerful console ever. You're going to have all your games in 4K. 4K doesn't really mean shit anymore. It's how your games could be rendered, polygons that you use, your textures, your storyline. The game, you can have 8K assets on a 1440p game and you can't see the difference. Epic just did that and fooled the shit out of Digital Foundry until they zoomed in. I think, was it 800%? You know what that is? That is ant level. All right? So That's it. I want that everyone, not everyone, to be kumbaya, because if it was up to Microsoft, they'd buy PlayStation and make all those games on Game Pass, and
Ooh,
yeah,
ew.
and they would do the same thing with Nintendo. They'll make everything on Game Pass, and these games will drop down in value at some point. They got years before the Game Pass becomes excessively valuable.
Mhm.
Everyone's saying that it's valuable now, but it's like you take on a brand new account right now. Let's say I work for Sony. I take on a new account with Costco. They sell my new Sony OLED. Everything that they sell is profit. It's going up 200%, 300%, because there's no year over year data to compare it to. So by saying Game Pass is successful right now, what the fuck you comparing it to? So when you have
That's true.
year over year data, then that's different. Now that Costco account next year has data to go against. So I'm tired of everyone saying that Game Pass is freaking amazing right now. It's not going against data, right? It's not going against proper data. You got to give it 2 years and then go against that data, growth, user, people that's continuing to pay, all of that stuff. But that's what grinds my gears. Yeah, everyone needs to just basically do their thing properly. Everyone needs to adapt new ways of development. The simple fact that you have 2080 Ti's, like, we just keep pushing resolution. We keep pushing graphical power when there's things like taking advantage of SSDs, taking advantage of 4K, 8K assets, 8K in-game assets, taking advantage of your, like, it's crazy. What the fuck is an NVMe is right now if they're not even being used for gaming? That's straight up production use only. No hardcore PC gamer needs an NVMe until they're used properly. Because you go on Linus Tech Tips, you go on all these other sites, and you see the comparisons of an NVMe versus an SSD. There's probably a 1 frame difference, and we know that's not the case, because you look at it. Let's say a Samsung 850 Pro regular SSD versus the Samsung 940 or 950 NVMe. You see 400 megabytes of data, 400 megabytes of data being transferred, come to the NVMe 1500 or 2000 or 9000 of megabytes per data transfer. That's a ridiculous gap. And if you can't see that in the use of gaming, you can't see that in the use of processing, you can't see that in the use of development, and you don't take advantage of that, then you're a waste of time in the gaming space. And that's DC Talks, baby.
So, kind of just building off of that, something I've brought up a few times here is that just because you have the most powerful console doesn't mean that doesn't mean anything. Like, if power was everything, PS2 would have been a flop. It was the weakest console of that generation. PS1 was weaker than the 64. There's other things that factor here. The Switch should have been dead on arrival if it was really
Hold
all
on,
about
I gotta cut you 1 second. I am so sorry. It's funny you say that, Pharaohs. I am actually I am a developer of an app developed for Sony right now, and I am a part of the board member team for the new portion of of part of Sony I'm working, and I'm also a data tracker because I have accounts. I have a total of 42 accounts that I track for the company I work for, and I am a tech head. You are right. Go ahead.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. Yeah. No, I was just building off your point there. I was like, I mean, yeah, specs is nice. It's really great to have all this horsepower under the hood, but there's so many other variables when it comes to the gaming space. It's not the end-all, be-all factor. I promise you, it's not. And it's like the systems I pointed out: PS1, PS2, freaking DS. And then we have here the Switch. It's like if it was really strictly just about how much CPU power, what your GPU was, and like all this other stuff, none of those consoles would have made it. And they all have made like history when it comes to the space of gaming. So there's that. And there's just what grinds my gears is just be real simple, real quick. And it's for gaming, and it's also, I guess, just life in general right now. What grinds my gears is how we're in quarantine and it's still a bitch to coordinate anything with anybody. I'm not coming at you, Cloud. It's not specific to you. But just like when I'm trying to get together with my friends to play a game, we can't we can't do it, even though we're on quarantine. We're all stuck at home. I know you ain't doing nothing better. Just silly stuff like that. And then, obviously when we try to get other people here on this podcast, it's a real pain in the ass. But yeah, I don't know. You would think it's so much easier. Like this would be the time if anyone was, ever going to coordinate anything with other people online. This would be the prime era to do it in. But it ain't so straightforward, I guess. Or people just don't like me. One of the two. And then let's see here. Let's get to Pharaoh's comment. Pharaoh says, "What grinds my gears is people who pass on opinion as fact. Just because you're loud doesn't mean you're right." That's facts.
That's facts.
Please tell me you caught all that.
Yeah, I said that's facts. Yeah, that's facts.
Yeah, and I guess what Pharaoh says kind of goes back to like, man, that's a throwback to the older days of our crumb side of YouTube. People would be loud and think that's right. I'm pretty sure Cloud is about to say Baron's name right about now, but
Nah, I don't waste my time on losers anymore.
oh man, yo, 1,000 subs. We'll go ahead and make a special podcast reminiscing over the NW Nation days. Here I am, adding more 1,000 sub goals.
I would play this. I would play the End Up Nation theme song, but we don't have any strikes on our channel, and I don't want any. Yeah.
Man, the Chrome side lives. I mean, I feel like for the most part, the Chrome side is broken up, and everyone kind of doing their own thing more or less. You still got people hanging around in some of the same circles, but yeah, the Chrome side lives on, my dude.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's ever going away.
I'm slowly deteriorating away from it. Pretty soon too. But as you can hear from my door being banged on by children, that's gonna be it for the podcast. That is it. Like, subscribe, comment. Taco, do you have any closing statements?
Do I have any closing statements? Yeah, guys.
Who is it?
Just as much as I joke around about the sub goals, we're going to do as much of them as we realistically can. And now that Cloud has mentioned a potential partnership, yeah, if y'all could just help us out, leaving comments on the videos and liking it for the algorithm, that would be great. If y'all want to share it, even better. If you dislike the video, hit the dislike button. If you think Cloud's ugly, hit that dislike button. If
Farrah's about to smash the dislike button like a
smash
motherfucker.
Should that be our phrase? Smash that dislike button. If you mad, smash that dislike button. It all counts as interactions on the video.
Yeah.
I guess for what I understand about the YouTube algorithm. But yeah, guys, we appreciate you guys so much. Thank you for watching. Kind of what we're doing here, inviting you to the Grinds My Gear section. We want you guys to be more involved here. Like, we don't want this channel to be just us talking.
What the
because
fuck? No.
I assume something happened in the game.
Yo, are you serious? Hold on.
Hard-Ace channel was terminated? Okay, well, Cloud does that, but I'm just going to go back. We'll talk about we kind of talk about this like every podcast. Our original vision.
8's channel's gone.
Gosh damn it, Cloud. All right, now I got to look it up too. It's not just about me and Cloud. Me and Cloud was like the baseline, the starting point of this channel, but it was never supposed to be about just us. It was supposed to be about all the people who gravitated towards our way of thinking, and we want to get you guys more involved too. So you guys are a part of this. We're going to interact with you guys more in the chat boxes, the comments, when we start doing these live streams, all that stuff. So yeah, I mean, it's our channel, but y'all in on it too. We definitely want it to feel that way. And That's all I had to say. Cloud still tripping over Hardy's channel.
Oh God, yeah, I'm needed.
Was this channel actually terminated?
Yo, it's gone.
This is great. This means we're doing way more podcasts.
Shut up.
This means we're doing way more podcasts. Cloud Sundays all free. All right, guys. Thanks for watching.
All right, y'all.